adoption, or no matter how you look, especially when you get the older kids.
Yeah.
The one thing that's missing is you don't get to develop together.
Nah.
You have to sort of meet them where they're at. And one of the things that with I learned with TJ, the very first time he came in the house, he had a box of rocks. Just rocks. Now I'm not talking nice rocks. I'm talking just rocks. And I looked at him, and my initial reaction was, why do we have a bunch of rocks in the house? And then I realized he has nothing. He had nothing. So this box, so I had bought a very nice container for his rocks and put it up there. And as time went on, and he, obviously got everything, probably more than he needed. One day he said, "I want to throw these rocks away." I said, No. And he goes, "It's stupid. Why?" I go, "No, it's not. No, I still have those rocks, by the way."
You still have the rocks?
And, Wow. And so it's not stupid.
Yeah.
It's something that's all he had. So to understand, I had to understand this great statement to me that I love, and I think you'll get this. While an adoption signals the start of a new family, and it is a very positive thing. It also signals the end of another. And so you can't. That's why a lot of times you don't understand. I see a lot of families that I work with that the day after the adoption, the parents are all like, "Oh yeah," and the kids are, "Oh yeah, okay." Yeah. So I always say, let's keep it low key. Let's keep it low key and not over. And now if they want to, Justin was all. I mean, hey, Justin came in and no doubt he changed his entire name.
Wow.
I mean, and he changed it. He's all on board. So he wanted a big party. We had 25 people at the adoption. Whereas TJ didn't want a big scene.
Yeah. Which it goes back to the individual.
Right, it goes back to the individual thing. So it's as you do this, and I admire so much what you do, and I know your kids, and the little one is so awesome. We got to hang out with him. So him and his wrestling, but the idea that whoever's going to be adopting, whoever's looking into it, one of the things you have to realize, and it's not about you. It's not about you. It can be very rewarding to you, but it's not about you. It's about you putting yourself. You got to meet that child where they're at, where they're at, and some of them most of them have horrific backgrounds.
Wow.
Most of them have a lot of trauma, and I believe that in my line of work, I'm a therapist. I'm not traditional in a lot of sense. I do a lot of positive stuff. I don't dwell on traumas. In fact, my form of therapy is life coaching. I'm about today forward.
Yeah.
I'm about here. We can sit around all day and whine about what's happened, or we can live today forward. We can make today forward.
Yeah.
And I find this a really effective tool with kids. And these kids have many of them have such a bad label. I have a young man that totally separate from this that I work with. His name's Marcus, and I did some volunteer work with Marcus, and he was 8 years old when he came into foster care, and while he was in foster care, his mom died in prison, and he got put on all these medications. He was oppositional to fight. So his foster care worker called me, and my services aren't covered by Medicaid. She said, "You really need to help this kid. This kid's in bad shape." And she said, "There's something about him." And I said, "Okay, we'll talk to him." So I talked to him, and so in interviewing him, I said, "Tell me about yourself." And the first thing Marcus said, it broke my heart. He said, "Well, I'm oppositionally defiant," and he just started listing everything, all these diagnoses. I go, "No, tell me about yourself." And he goes, I don't know what you mean." And so I said, "Okay, tell me what medications you're on." And he was so excited he knew most of them. "Well, I'm on Prozac, I'm on Depakote, I'm going, oh my God, that's crazy."
Yeah.
And he just, And so I said, "Well, what is your Prozac for?" And he said, "It's for depression." I said, "Well, are you depressed?" And he goes, "Probably." I said, "What does that mean?" He's a little sad. And I said, "Well, why do you think you're sad?" And I love this kid's great. He goes, "My mom died and I'm in foster care." And I go, "Okay, that's the right answer. So tell me how the Prozac is helping that not happen." And he looked at me like, "I don't know." And so we developed this great relationship. I said, "What's happened to you, Marcus?" is a bunch of people have gotten together and told you a bunch of things that you believed in. That you're oppositionally defined, you're this bad kid. I said, and you believed it.
Yeah.
So you're acting as if you're those things.
Yeah.
And over a period of several months, we started working on him changing that inner dialogue. I said, you're incredibly resilient. Your mom died while you were in foster care. You're a survivor. Let's start looking at you that way. You're a strong kid. You're not a weak kid.
Mentally. Yeah.
Mentally. 2 years later, he is off every single medication with exception of a little ADD medication during school only.
Yeah.
He's about to be adopted. He's changed everything around. He went to his psychiatrist and fired his psychiatrist. Said, you're not doing this right. He went to his teacher and told her, I am no longer going to behave the way I've been. I apologize for how I'm behaving. He went from D's and F's to all A's and B's.
Wow.
He's turned his life around by just changing that inner dialogue. And so that's sort of the method I try to get the kids to say, you can choose whatever you want to look at. I mean, you've been through hell, yeah, or you've got an entire life ahead. You get to choose that. A lot of them don't realize they have that choice. That applies to humans, anybody. That's not just kids. Yeah. But unfortunately, this foster care population.
Imagine if they learned that now.
Yes.
What the future could look like.
Yeah, if everybody learned it, and so I use that model of, it's learned resilience versus learned helplessness. I point out that you survive the average, if you want to hire a resilient person and work, somebody's been through the foster care system. Those are people they understand life. They have survived. They've clawed. So I look at the strength of that. I look at that. I've had recently. I had a young man that was in foster care that I was working with from the inner city of Richmond, and pulled himself up, worked really hard. I was the only one at his graduation.
Wow.
He had average grades, but he graduated. First person in the history of his family to graduate.
Right.
So he was going to go to J. Sarge, and I said, I want you to write a letter about your experience. I didn't tell him what I was going to do. And I said, I'm going to pay for this admission thing. So we filled out a packet for Harvard.
Wow.
And he included his letter. Full ride to Harvard.
No way.
Yeah.
No
with
way.
Support.
Wow.
With support.
With support.
Yeah, and Harvard said, you are who we want. You and academically, he's not in the ballpark of the people at Harvard. That's not what they're after. They want that resilience. And so I tell that story to encourage, because your kids have these things, don't expect less. Yeah. Expect more. Let them know you expect more from them. Treat them as you expect more from them. There's tons of studies that when a teacher believes a kid's smart and they're doing, they give them more attention. They give them more, and the kids then perform better. Tons of studies backing that up. Yeah. So it's I'm very much a positive, moving forward guy. We can wallow in our self-pity all we want, or we can take where we're at and go forward. That's sort of my general theory in life, and it does go over into my work with my kids, and I love it. It changes. At least it changed my life. That's a different way of thinking.
So what's next for you and Justin? How's it going?
It's going very well. He's he recently got the big award of 5th grade. The big award.
Okay.
Most improved student.
Really?
And he was very excited about that, and he went up in front of all the class, of everybody there. His teachers love him. I mean, of course, he's a great. You met him. He's a great kid. He's a great kid. He wakes up every day with a smile. He's fishing today, so with some friends. So he's full of energy. I'm enjoying him a lot more. A lot of times when you're parenting. You especially when I'm younger, when you're, wait, do I have an electric bill this month, or do I have when you're worried about stuff that you're going to get through. I'm blessed that it's not a thing anymore. So now I just really get to live, and so I don't let things bother me as much.